Hello students, today we are going to see op-amp as non-inverting amplifier. As you all know that this plus 12 common and minus 12 has to be connected to the power supply, which I have already connected. You can see this, which I have already connected to this plus 12, 0 and minus 12, right? Now this has to be selected for the gain, because non-inverting amplifier will have gain 1 plus RF by R1. So this is the value of RF, this is the value of RF, and this is the value of R1, right? This is the value of RF. You can see it is written over here. This is RF, this is R1. So this will decide the gain. We have selected 50 kilo ohms and 5 kilo ohms. So 50 divided by 5, that is 10 plus 1. So gain will be 11. Gain will be 11, right? Now as we are using signal generator, I have selected sine wave. This symmetry we are not using, DC offset we are not using. We will use this coarse and fine to change the frequency, right? But at present I have set 1 kilohertz. You can see 1.0 kilohertz frequency. This voltage level I have already set. You can see this voltage level by pressing this switch. If this switch is outside, then it is showing frequency. If it is you are pressing inside, then it will show voltage. Voltage is near about 0.18 volt, right? 0.18 volt peak to peak, right? So let us go back to frequency. Now this connection is been taken from probe and it is been connected to the input. It has been connected to the input. You can see this wire. It has been connected to the input of the circuit, that is going to AF, function generator, right? Function generator. So this is the input, right? This is the input of the circuit. Fine. We have connected the power supply. We have connected the RF value, RF, and we have already set the offset null for this op-amp, which you might have shown in the previous video, right? I am not changing the value of offset null, and the output will be connected. This output will be connected to CRO, right? That we will find everything. We will find frequency, we will find peak to peak value, then we will find this RMS value. We can find out everything. So let me connect this. Now this is connected to this one. This is the positive. Remember, we will have this kind of pin where this is the positive and this is the negative one. The negative one will be connected to the negative terminal, right? You can see how it has been connected. Fine. Try to make the separation. You will have some kind of separation between them. You should not get shorted. Okay, fine. So you can see nothing is there, nothing is there, nothing is there on screen, because we have not set anything. Now the moment we will start the battery, you will see that sine wave has appeared. You will see that sine wave has appeared, right? Sine wave has appeared. This is our output value. This is our output. You can see, you have to see the yellow one, that is 2.36 volt. Remember, we have set 0.1 volt and it has almost multiplied with 11, right? If we multiply 0.14 or 16 with 11, we will get near about this value. It's near about value. Fine. So this is the proof of the amplification. This is the proof of amplification. But what we will do is, if you change this value of RF, you will definitely see the change in the amplification ratio, right? So let me select, instead of 50, let me select the 5K value, and you will definitely going to change. You can see the amplitudes got changed because you have selected different value of RF. Different value of RF will definitely going to change the amplification ratio, right? Again I will change to 100K. Here you will have maximum value of the output signal. The amplification is maximum, right? Amplification is maximum. Now let us come back to the original value for the comparison of it. Now this is 50 kilo ohms I have selected, this is 5. So according to formula, our gain will be 1 plus RF by R1, that is RF is 50 kilo ohms divided by 5, that is 10 plus 1 is 11K. So this is 11 times multiplied by 11. This is the value which have obtained 11 times multiplied by 0.14 volt, which we have already set over here, right? This is 0.18 volt. We have set input voltage. You have to multiply this with 11, that is the gain, and this is the value which you are getting after amplification, right? Peak to peak value after amplification. Frequency we have set 1 kilo. You can see it is exactly 1 kilohertz. It is exactly 1 kilohertz. Fine. Now for comparison, let us connect this blue channel, this another blue channel also, to the input terminals, so that we can compare both the signals, input and output signals. Okay, so we will have another probe. This is another probe. This is another probe, another channel. One is connected to this output, this another I am connecting to the input. So it is been connected, and ground is been connected. Okay, fine. So this is the input I have connected, and you can see the input is also there on screen. You can see input is also there, right? You can see peak to peak value, that is 256 millivolt. Now you can see the yellow, that is the output, that is 2.3 volt, that is it has been amplified. You can see the frequency is same, it is not changing. A small disturbance is happening in between the signal. That is why you are not able to see a complete pure sine wave. This dash lines, this is nothing but disturbance, right? So this is the proof of amplification. Now, as we have used op-amp as non-inverting amplifier, means the input and output should not have phase shift. The input and output should be having 0 degree phase shift. You can see the phase shift is not there. Input and output are starting at same phase angle. They are having same phase angle. Remember, they are having same phase angle. They do not have different phase. Why? Because we have used op-amp as non-inverting amplifier, right? So this is all about the functioning of non-inverting amplifier. Now in practice, what you have to do is you have to change this frequency value, and have to note down this peak to peak voltage, output voltage, so that you will measure the output voltage, output peak to peak voltage with respect to change in different frequency. Now I will show you some of the readings which has been previously taken, right? So you can see the amplitude of input frequency, that is 0.1 volt we have already set, and you have to change the frequency. Remember, over here we have set 1 kilohertz, but in practical, instead of 1 kilohertz, in 1 kilohertz you have to set the input voltage. Then for taking the reading, you have to change the frequency from 20 hertz to 50 kilohertz, and have to note down this output voltage. Right? Now noting down this output voltage will enable you to find out this AV, that is voltage gain in dB, decibel, 20 log V0 by Vi. This is the formula. 20 log V0 by Vi. Right? That you can find out over here. Okay, after finding this, you have to plot a graph of AV versus frequency. This is the frequency and this is the AV axis, right? This is starting from 20 to 50 kilohertz. Now at this point you can see the op-amp. At this point you can see the operational amplifier working is going down. It is not able to amplify this signal. It is not going to amplify with this signal. As you increase the frequency, the performance of operational amplifier is reducing. The performance of amplifier is getting reduced, is getting decreasing, right? So this is all about the frequency response of a non-inverting amplifier using operational amplifier. With this you can also find out the bandwidth. For bandwidth you have to find out this maximum value, divide by √2, and that you will have two values. It will have near about over here, so that is your bandwidth. Okay, so this was all about the operational amplifier using non-inverting configuration. Okay, thank you.